Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, I am so excited. We're going to be finding out a message from your higher self. This is so cool. Time does not exist in a linear fashion. The present, past, and future exist all the time at the same time. And this higher version of yourself exists right now, while you do too as well. I hope in this lifetime you become that person. I try to deliver whatever messages I can to bring you closer to that. Either way, that version of yourself is so much wiser, objective, and is able to personally understand what it is you need at this moment. So this message from that version of yourself could be the things you need to become that higher version. This could be just a singular thing you need to hear right now to feel some sort of wisdom in a particular situation. Maybe it's just an answer that's been bothering you. Maybe you're torn between friendships or romantic relationships. Whatever it is, we're going to be talking about it today. Now, I just wanted to propose one last question. I absolutely love that you guys also want to talk about love what happens next and messages from your future spirit guides monthly. I love that stuff, and I'm really excited you want that as well. So I heard you guys. Yes, you will be receiving that. But I wanted to ask the question, would you also like this as well? Because spirit guides are like a whole different entity from what you have to say. Do you see what I'm saying? So let me know what you think about that. Either way, I'm so excited to dive into this video. As you can see, we have 4 groups. I'm going to give you a moment to pick the group that resonates with you most. So I'll give you a moment to do so. Now that you have, you can go down to the description where you can pick the timestamp for each group accordingly, and you can skip to that part of the video. But now let's get started with group number 1. Group number 1. Let's find out what that message is from your higher self. Let's look at your cards. Your oracle card is Magic Prayer Upright. Nice. Your tarot cards are Queen of Wands in reverse, 7 of Wands upright, Page of Cups upright, the Moon card in reverse, and your last card is Temperance upright. Okay, give me a second. Oh. I would say this is a coincidence, but let's be real. When you start, getting into spirituality, you will find there are no coincidences. So we actually talked about this in the intro, about how your higher self and your spirit guides are 2 totally separate things. And in this spread going on, your higher self is telling you to get in touch with your spirit guides. So I love that. That's so funny. It looks like there's been a disconnect going on for a little while. Now this is a general reading, so it looks like a lot of you have either straight up been trying to contact your spirit guides, or there's this feeling of wanting guidance in some way. Either way, you have been trying and you just feel like you're not getting it back. Now, the biggest thing I think you would find comfort in knowing is I'm not picking up any bitterness, I'm not picking up any hate in your heart, but understandably, you're starting to feel a little resentful, a little bit negative. It's kind of bringing you down a little bit. Understandable. Now, remember, this is a general reading, so the two main things I'm picking up is, for some people, as you've been reaching out to your spirit guides, you just haven't been receiving anything back, and it's frustrating. And for another group of you, it's like you haven't even been thinking about this concept. Maybe you just don't believe in this idea, but you're like, man, am I even making the right moves in life? I'm a little lost right now. Well, your higher self is like, contact your spirit guides. They're here. The Magic Prayer card is actually amazing and awesome because it just I like to think of this as the spirit guides, dipping their hands into my card and putting this directly in, saying, hello, this is our business card. We would like to contact them, please, because this directly talks about spirit guides letting you know that they're around, that they're ready to heal you, they're ready to answer any of your messages, help you manifest, whether that be through guidance and in your own personal power, or just plain old giving you the thing that you're asking for, whatever your situation is. They're letting you know they're here. I know it doesn't feel like it, but then we'll get into that. So here we have the Queen of Wands. This is really cool, because even though it's in reverse, it is talking about your potential power, which I love. There's a little, you're not feeling this way at the moment, but we're going to talk about what she would normally represent if she's upright. If she's upright, this is somebody who just everybody just likes her. She's a very strong likability factor. This is for a multitude of reasons. One, she's very attractive. That draws people near her. She has a very powerful energy that is almost magnetic in nature. And she is proactive and hands-on when it comes to accomplishing things in life. She doesn't solely rely and command other people to do her bidding or do what she wants. If she asks, this is the thing we need to get done, she'll get her hands dirty as well. So, again, makes a lot of people like her and respect her even more. But this is somebody in the upright position of this tarot card that can kind of make anything happen. She has confidence in herself. She is aware of how she affects other people and is able to then get what she wants. We're not talking about manipulation. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, somebody might want to help you out. You can tell they are favoring you in a positive way. We're talking platonic as well. But this is also talking about how she knows that between her confidence in herself, her energy and her ability to manifest, and the fact that she will get in there and make things happen herself simultaneously, this is kind of like she can make anything happen, no matter what the odds are, because she has so many tools in her arsenal, is the best way to put it. So this is the potential version of you that you can be. But because of this disconnection from your spirit guides for so long and needing this sense of guidance and a little bit of just confirmation of like, am I doing this right? Is this okay? What do I do? This is becoming the reverse. And you can kind of imagine the opposite of this as somebody who's a lot more lost, scattered, doesn't feel confident in themselves. They might even come out kind of intense emotionally at times. I'm not personally picking that up from you, so you don't need to feel self-conscious or worried if you're coming across that way. But the main reason why there's a disconnect going on here is we have the magic prayer card. See how this person is the representation of your spirit guides, and they're kind of living in their own world. They almost seem like they're moving away. And this Queen of Wands is trying to get in communication with them, and they just seem like they're not turning around. From her perspective, she's not seeing that maybe they have eyes on the back of their heads. We're getting really abstract here. How do you know that they aren't listening, but even if they're not faced your way? Do you see what I'm saying? This is how you feel, but this isn't the case. So we have a lot of answers being given here of how you can then, achieve this. So over here we have the Seven of Wands upright. This is a couple of things. This says that you need to make more of an active effort. The Temperance card actually talks about how you can make more of that active effort. This can be directly through meditation, or if you believe in praying or whatever, you do what works for you, you know what I mean? But it's this active effort to clear your head and say, what's up, spirit guides? Hi, I'm here. They're not going to come to you unless you say it's okay. They do not want to freak you out. So keep that in mind. You need to make that much more of a direct, clear effort. You can't just think it for a second and then wonder, why didn't they come around? It needs to be clear, direct, repetitive, often. Nothing, scary or threatening, but just kind of open up the line of communication and keep doing it for a little while. When we talk about a little while, this gets extended with the next idea we're talking about. You need to keep just moving forward in life while simultaneously asking this person, and the best way to put it is keep putting up the good fight. It will be worth it. The Seven of Wands is a positive omen saying that it's going to be worth it when you get to the end goal. We'll talk about this in the Moon card in reverse. It's going to be worth it, But yeah, you're going to have to keep trying. This means trying to contact them. This means pushing through the rough times you're going through. But the thing is, you don't need to think deeper about the rough experiences you're going through. This isn't about overthinking every little detail, worrying if you're making the wrong decision. The act of pushing forward is what's going to lead you there. Part of me feels like, I'm not getting direct confirmation in this, but part of me feels like you're being put through this situation to be, how do I put this? Sometimes we can get so burnt out that it eventually forces us to be relaxed. It's like you're being put through this time period to push through it so much that eventually you kind of learn to be like, hey, I no longer see all these individual experiences as a big deal. I've kind of mellowed out. Yep, I can handle this. I know I can believe in myself. And it kind of puts you in a position where this is the only way for you to start experiencing this feeling, to then open up, to allow that communication more. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, in addition to that, I can see here by the Page of Cups, it turns out actually they have been communicating with you for some time. I can see here in the Moon card in reverse, same thing. They've actually been trying to send you a lot of information and messages. Most spirit guides will kind of back off, leave you alone until you want them. They've been trying to help, but it looks like you've been so distracted with these obstacles and thinking of you're not receiving a direct, clear message that you're looking more inward. You're not able to see these little subtle clues. And I do say subtle. Whenever the Moon card pops up, this can be upright, reverse. It doesn't matter. When the Moon card pops up, this is what I would like to describe as my super obscure, subtle messages from the universe. I would say most people experience messages from the universe that is pretty obscure, but we're talking more obscure. This is like abstract dreams. These are odd synchronicities that are not super direct and clear and make perfect sense. You just start to notice deja vu or whatever. Think of it this way. This is, especially with the Page of Cups letting us know these are smaller sort of messages. Okay, so when you're going about in life, you're going to start receiving these deja vu moments. Or maybe you just started talking randomly about Cheetos and then you see a Cheeto bag in the parking lot of the place you're going to. These do not have meanings within themselves, but they're like little clues from your spirit guides to say, you are in the right place at the right time. It doesn't mean at that right place and right time something significant is going to be happening, but it's kind of letting you know, hey, you're moving towards the right direction. You're moving towards the right direction. When we have positive things happen in our life, they're not always loud and big, and we might not even realize we're receiving something that's going to have such a positive long-term effect on us. So this shows me that when you receive these, things that you want, they're not going to be big. You're not going to fully be even aware that you're receiving them. You're going to get them, but then one day you're going to turn around and go, you know what? I didn't even realize it. This is the job of my dreams. I just kind of got more money, and I was happy about that. But little did I know I was going to find my true calling within this job. You know what I'm saying? So like a subtle manifestation that's achieved, so are the messages letting you know you're being guided down that path. So start to open your eyes, look around. These are going to be very obscure. They're going to be odd enough that you'll notice them, but you're trying to be contacted with. Contact them. So the Moon card in reverse directly talks about the idea that it's the confirmation of like you will be able to fully understand these obscure little references over time. It will mean something to you. But the Temperance card is one last sort of helpful guidance from your higher self that will not only help you with the connection with your spirit guides, but it's just kind of like a little food for thought you're throwing into yourself. What I mean by that is, Temperance card is about balance and finding balance in life. But that is a very obscure, flowery term. And I don't do that. I don't like to do that. I like to give a little more specific, helpful stuff. This is what I love about the Temperance card. The Temperance card is about balance within a proportion of moderation and combination. What that means is sometimes a lot of us find our happiness in life by living a sort of consistent lifestyle that works for them. Now, that balance could be anything. Maybe you do really well doing a little bit of exercise every day. Just a little bit, could be 15 minutes, whatever. But that's the thing that helps you feel good. Maybe it's about watching less TV and better movies, like watch a smaller amount of, cable or movies, but better content. So it's all about the right proportion of things at the right times. And then after you start kind of figuring out what works for you in what quantity at what time, you will find this certain level of harmonious consistency. And people don't talk about it enough. Everyone talks about quick solutions, but consistency and daily balance is one of the greatest forms of receiving inner happiness, because inner happiness is not always one giant swing and punch. It's something that subtly creeps into your life. Like we said, subtlety here, subtlety here, subtlety here. This is a very quiet sort of spiritual experience you're having. Understandably, with such a strong energy, you were hoping for a strong return. But sometimes when we talk about balance, proportion, you need that balance by you being the loud force and them being quiet. Do you see what I'm saying? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, harmonious thing going on. But you just didn't know, maybe you need to look around, be a little more quiet. What's going on? So start to take care of yourself through this level of balance. Balance means, when we talk about this proportion, this can be anything. It's very open-ended. But understand what works for you. You don't need to overwhelm yourself. Maybe it's a little bit, maybe it's more, maybe it's taking larger breaks. You see what I'm saying? It's just about the idea of proportions and amounts at the right time and right place. Start to look out for those little inner messages. Keep fighting, keep going on, start looking out. They're here for you. They want to help. Reach out. Say what's up. Just start every day going, Spirit guides, hello? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Please consider giving this video a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Either way, have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 2. I almost forgot. Group number 2. Let's find out what the message from your higher self is. Let's look at your cards. Your oracle card is Deep Freeze, Upright. Somebody just contacted me about this card. That's lovely. That's what a wonderful kind of coincidence, synchronicity. I hope she's watching. Hello. Let's look at your tarot cards. 6 of Pentacles, upright. 5 of Cups, upright. The Magician, upright. Okay. 9 of Cups in reverse, and your last card is the Fool. Let me pull a few cards real quick. Let's see what's going on over here. We have the 4 of Cups in reverse. What's going on over here? We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. But I need to understand this Fool a little bit better. Oh, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so now I know what's going on. Okay, so the Magician. This is a very important card to you. This is pretty awesome. This talks about a couple different things. One, if you are open to practicing magic, go for it. You have the very intense potential or capabilities of making that happen above average compared to others. It's your natural ability, it's your natural gift. But if you are not a believer in that, or that's not your interest, this is one of the top manifestation cards. It implies that everything you have right now, your mindset, your connection to spirituality, a lot of different things, you have it all, or the capability of having it all. And that you can just kind of go out in the world and make things happen. And this is talking on a very psychic level. The thing about this being such a powerful manifestation card is this is the sort of manifestation of you think it with your mind, you physically affect the world. And we're talking very intense physical changes that happen in a pretty fast amount of time that you can physically see. This is more than the idea of just getting a job. This is like next level affecting the world around you, if you know what I mean. But the Magician is really cool because this directly talks about your higher self. That yes, you are more than capable in this lifetime of becoming that higher version of yourself, which, as you can tell, I'm very excited to tell you about. So the thing is, though, you're not there. You're actually nowhere close to that at the moment. You're going to be. It's coming around the corner. It will happen. But this is kind of a bit of a loving message from that version of yourself that you're going to become, that everything's okay right now, even if it doesn't feel like it's okay. So the Deep Freeze Oracle card. This card is secretly wonderful, and I find is a deep comfort, a little frustrating to potentially hear about for many, but still positive. This card can be described as, and I'm going to feel so weird saying this combination of words, pregnant pause. This is when nothing is going to work out right now. You're going to need to just take a big old break and kind of accept that the things that you wish were happening or you were trying to achieve, you're going to just have to put a pause button on it. It's not meant to happen right now. You are meant to kind of sit in it, think about it, let time work out in your favor. A lot of things are happening during this pregnant pause. So this is a combination. Sometimes ideas just need to sit and settle before you can understand them better, or they can grow with that space being given. Maybe, let's say you're trying to apply for a job, or you're reaching out to this person you romantically want to be with. It just isn't the right time. It will be the right time, but now's not the right time. And you can't do anything about time. It's not you, it's not them, it's time. So this is kind of a loving message of just saying, sit back, relax, take this break. This is a good time to have some self-care, some self-love. I like to take this as, many of us feel that taking a vacation can be in a way quite a burden because there isn't time for us to take a break. Now is the time. Take that break, relax. Enjoy it now, because when things get busier, you're going to be happy you had that time to rest. It's the perfect time to, because nothing would work out otherwise right now. Now I can see over here in the Five of Cups, there was some sort of loss. I was a little confused by this. Like, what did you lose? What was the disappointment? Well, we can see over here in the Fool card and what was going on with the Nine of Pentacles. So the Fool card is so sweet, and honestly, in many spreads, I get it as sort of advice. It's a great advice. Sometimes you just kind of need to throw everything to the wind and carelessly step forward in a sort of free-spirited kind of way and try something new. Don't worry about the risks. Jump forward, move forward. This is often about trying something new, especially something you've never experienced before, but going in it with a very happy attitude, positive that it will work out better, and just kind of pushing aside all the negativity. It's not about being absent-minded to the negativity, it's just that you don't need to focus on it anymore. Often I get this card because we are focusing too much on our worries and fears. Now, that is actually directly correlated to the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. This is often referred to directly about a work type of experience. In fact, I'm feeling for many of you it is. So this work type of experience, or maybe you're in college or whatever, and this is a school related thing. This is about you having been working on something for a while, and things have not been going your way, and it's really bringing you down. You're starting to feel like, what the heck? I was owed more. I was owed at least something for what I have done, and I am not seeing that, and it's upsetting me. So it looks like this was the thing that made you go, you know what? Hard work isn't working for me right now. I'm not getting anything back. So I might as well, be a little more carefree, a little more loose in the way I approach things. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to worry about what I was doing anymore. I'm going to try something different. Maybe you tried a new occupation, maybe a new method of approaching your thing. Maybe you changed degrees, whatever it is. It was a positive, good intention step moving forward. However, I can see in the Ace of Swords, you were still kind of, the intention was there, but your clarity of mind when actually making decisions wasn't. You were still affected by this card, and this is what caused the Fool card and the Sweet Intentions to kind of feel more of reckless. Now, the thing over here I can see with the Nine of Cups in reverse, you can see this genie over here. This is somebody who technically got what they wanted, but there's still like a pickiness factor. It wasn't exactly what they wanted. And they were almost there, but because again, they were feeling so upset for so long, it kind of carried over into the new things they wanted. So the Fool card and the Bad Judgment didn't necessarily lead to anything bad. In fact, it led to a lot of good. But because you weren't thinking straight, you were still negatively influenced by this, you weren't able to enjoy entirely the things that you received. That probably, it feels frustrating when we're not, this is the best way I want to put it. It feels frustrating when we don't allow ourselves to be happy. It's very frustrating. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy at the wrong or worst time. So here's this feeling of loss going on, this sort of disappointment, or not, loss isn't the word, disappointment's the word. We talked about it here, feeling disinterested, not fully appreciating, and more connecting with emotionally what we have. It's like you don't want to be, ungrateful, but you just, what can you do if you just don't feel it? It's like you wanted a relationship, you got the perfect person to be your partner, and it's like everything's there, they seem great, things are going well, but you just kind of are not happy, and you're mad at yourself for it. But here's where things get really good. Over here, we see you in the Four of Cups. Talks about getting out of a bad mood. Pretty on the nose. And over here, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is wonderful. This talks about the building blocks of how you're going to be in the higher self. All of this is like a loving term to say things didn't work out the way you wanted over here in the Nine of Pentacles, and things didn't work out over here with the Fool card and stuff because things just weren't right. It just wasn't the right time. Take a break, let it go. It just is what it is right now. Don't overthink it and let it consume you. Because then we have these building blocks to the higher self and we get a bit of a first clue. So the Six of Pentacles is awesome. This is somebody who is pretty generous, but they are generous for a couple of reasons. That you're making more money, you have more to offer, there's more abundance in your life, great positive omen to come your way. It talks about financial growth, you having more money, having more abundance in your life. So I'm excited to tell you, you can look forward to that. This talks about somebody who is emotionally sound enough, spiritually confident enough that they feel that they want to give and are able to give to other people in a really kind of loving and unconditional way. So that's beautiful. That's the second thing. It talks about your spirituality, the things you tangibly have, and in your emotions. But then we have the last one. This is somebody, while they might be generous, when it's an upright position, they are aware of when they can put up a boundary and say, listen, I don't have this to give. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is just what it is. And they can also at the same time give. So there's like a healthy, again, confidence and awareness of themselves. These are really important things to keep in mind because the Magician, as you can see, they have all the elements on their table. They are totally a master of their emotions, the cups, of their finances and being able to attract that, all the tangible things, the pentacles. They are very aware of their mind and spirituality with the sword. They have got their intentions and actions, that sort of intangible sort of energy in the wands, down pattern. All of these things happen with a bunch of steps in between. These are the steps. Who is this version of you that is able to have this much money, is in a place in their life where they're able to start giving back? As you start to feel like you're becoming this person, you are moving towards the Magician. Part of me kind of is feeling and picking up vibes a potential sort of low-key philanthropist sort of mentality going on. Like not a full-on person that does that, but above average when it comes to giving to charities and so on and stuff like that. So it looks like that is an important step to you connecting to this version of yourself in this lifetime. So this is all kind of like comfort, everything's okay, you had good intentions, it's understandable, but these are the things that prevented you from feeling disconnected and disappointed when everything was okay. You were right close to being the magician, but what can you do if you feel like there's a sort of disconnect emotionally? Don't worry, it's going to get better, but just take a break right now. This is this important step that's going to lead you to this. So pretty awesome stuff. I'm very excited for it. This is really cool because this directly talks about you becoming this higher version of yourself in this lifetime. And who does not want that? I want that for you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Either way, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 3. Group number 3. Let's find out what that message from your higher self is. Let's look at your cards. Your oracle card is Rock Bottom in reverse. Your tarot cards are 10 of Swords upright. Do not worry about this. We still have to pull some more tarot cards. We have 3 of Cups upright, 5 of Wands upright, 7 of Pentacles upright, and your last card is Strength. Strength card upright. That is awesome. Okay, so I can see what's going on here, but there's a bit of a disconnect and there's some vagueness going on here. So let me just pull some more cards to get better context. We have 6 of Cups upright. Okay. But what is going on here? Tower in reverse. What is that tower? Oh, okay, 5 of Pentacles upright. Oh! Okay, it's all making sense. Thank you for giving me a moment. It just takes me a second to better understand the cards. So, we have, I'm really happy to tell you, a bright, happy future in front of you. In fact, actually, you will be receiving some things that you didn't know that you wanted and needed, and you're going to be really, happy and fulfilled after you receive them. So, get excited for that. And we are going to be talking about that. But first, we have some things you're going to need to work on and overcome, and some things you need to focus on in order to receive this bright, happy future. Now, I just want to put this out here. We are connecting to the higher version of yourself. And this version of yourself doesn't feel it necessary to bring things in a more gentler manner. They just want to cut to the chase and give you the information they're saying. In their heads, this version of yourself, they're not being too harsh or they're just being very direct. They're saving you a lot of time by being as upfront as possible. But sometimes when you're this direct, it can be borderline offensive. So hear what I'm saying. This is not the way I would personally deliver this sort of information, and I'm going to try to make it as gentle as possible, but take what, this version of yourself is saying with a certain grain of salt, if you know what I mean. So let's move forward into this. Rock Bottom in reverse talks about a habit you have. And this is the sort of habit that you almost do so often you're addicted to it. You can't stop. Now, this can refer to any sort of bad habit that you have, but often I find with Rock Bottom, these are habits that are built out of positive intention. You're trying to do something that's bettering yourself, or you're protecting yourself, or you're just trying to improve your environment by doing something over and over again, because you kind of can't stop thinking that this is maybe the solution. And when we talk about a direct message, this is saying you're not going to get anything more out of this. Stop it. Stop doing this thing. You're not even aware of it, but you're doing it so often it's unhealthy and it's not helping you. And if you were hoping to continue this mindset because it would benefit later, it's not going to. Stop it. Now, continuing with the direct message, we have the 10 of Swords upright. Now, again, this is a general reading, but But this is the sort of mentality that is like feeling like a victim. This is somebody who kind of thinks the worst and expects the worst and is like, oh, but of course, of course this happened again, only me, that type of mentality. And again, wouldn't deliver it this way. But the reason why this is important to be aware of this is you're kind of unaware of the negativity you're bringing into your life by having this sort of mindset. You're not even really aware you're doing it, unfortunately. And I personally am picking up that you're doing it as a defense mechanism. If you already expect something, it doesn't feel so bad when you then receive that bad news or that unfortunate situation. You feel less disappointed. So it's not that you're, there's good intentions behind what you're trying to do in order to save yourself from a lot of grief. Often when people develop this mentality, they've been through a lot. And I have nothing but compassion for you and your situation. And I'm so sorry you've been in a position where you've had to literally defend yourself because maybe you feel like no one else is defending you. That mentality of from over here gets kind of repeated over here with the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles talks about a lacking mindset. Often with the Five of Pentacles, it talks about thinking that you don't have enough money. But remember, this is a general reading, and especially with the Strength card over here and the way the card is kind of interacting with the Strength card, this is more about feeling like you're not pretty enough. Feeling like you don't have enough to offer as a person to other people. Just a general sense of, I'm not good enough. What I have at this very moment isn't worth anything, which is so sad. Please don't feel that way about yourself. Trust me, it is not just a saying, it is a fact that we all are unique and have something to offer. Trust me, it's just about understanding what it is and using it to our benefit. Actually, if you'd like a video about that, I would be happy to do that. Pull a tarot reading to see what are your best qualities and how to use them. That's actually a good idea. I should do that. So anyways, this is where the good news starts to turn around. The Tower card talks about a long-standing issue coming to an end. We already know what the long-standing issue is. So I'm really excited to say, yes, this is inevitable. You will overcome this time period and mindset and mentality in your life. Now, it's kind of interesting. We have the Seven of Pentacles upright. It is almost a contradictive statement to what is going over here in the rock bottom. When the Seven of Pentacles is upright, this is saying that while it might not feel like what you're doing at this moment in life, whether this be the workplace, whatever your situation you feel most focused on at the moment, maybe you're trying to find love or find yourself, you might not feel like you're moving forward, but this is your higher self saying, actually, you are. It is adding up to something. It's just not the same sort of progress, if that makes sense, that's visible. So a best way to think of this is like, for many people, they like to see the numbers, or maybe they get a better job position, and there's a sense of clear, tangible moving up in the world, or better, maybe they're getting more positive responses when you're trying to date people and whatever. And you just kind of feel like it's staying the same. It's staying the same. You've been doing the same thing. But this is saying that over time, it is adding up. And one day you're going to get this huge, like it's an often big lift, because this implies that people have been watching you from a distance. They're admiring what you're doing. This consistency is what is defining you and your strengths right now. And it's kind of like people always look over and they go, they're a really hard worker. They always show up on time. We can trust that they're going to get the job done. And then that is when you're offered that better thing. So keep doing what you're doing. But I feel that it's a really interesting contradiction to what's going over here. I think what this is trying to say is that most of the things that you're doing correctly, we can talk about this being healthy habits, just like, working hard, things like that. Keep doing that. You're fine in that regard. But if you notice there's something that makes you feel upset, and we specifically talked about what it was, that's the thing you need to stop. It's like, keep doing some things, stop other things. But it's understanding you would come up with this sort of mentality when you feel frustrated that you've been working on something for so long and haven't received results. This is the confirmation that, yes, you're fine. You're going to be receiving results. Now, this is what's kind of interesting. This is a general reading, so maybe you were trying to receive this, but I'm just being told by my spirit guides, by a majority of you, you were not realizing all your hard work you're working on now, yourself, your job, whatever you're working on, is actually going to lead a group of friends into your life, which is really cool. I'm seeing over here that some of them are from actually people you've already known from the past, which is really cool. This almost kind of refers to a really fun, sort of innocent friendship kind of feeling, where it doesn't matter your age, you suddenly start to do things that you did when you were younger and had friends. Maybe you start, having slumber parties and kind of having late night phone sessions. This is like a really sweet, endearing type of friendship that kind of goes back to the core, without any judgment, just unconditional love. It's really sweet what you're looking forward to. And what we have going on over here, again, when we talk about something you didn't anticipate that you wanted that's going to fulfill your life, when we talk about these positive friendship groups, is over here in the Five of Wands. Five of Wands talks about like really intense conversation going on. Now, we're not talking about fighting. This would be like intense debating in a fun, positive way. So this is a group of people that really like get you and are really connected to your equal. Maybe you've been feeling alone for a little while with your personal passions, whatever they be, and you kind of don't have anyone to share that with right now. Guess what? They're into it too. And you have fun discussing and disagreeing, and your mind is stimulated. This is the important thing. Your emotional spirit, your like the passion, the thing that fuels you, your soul and your mind are all going to kind of get this wonderful exercise from being with these people. Again, it's not the thing you thought you wanted, but it's the thing you needed. Now, it looks like the other bit of advice you're being given from your higher self can be found over here in the Strength card. This is kind of a combination of the Strength card with a mixture of keep moving forward, get rid of the bad habits is what's going to equal this. So the Strength card, pardon me, I'm going through the gigs over here. The Strength card upright is talking about, a sense of self-healing and self-love and balance through, this is important because many cards talk about self-healing, self-love, but each one has their own version of that. This is a connection through your mind, body, and spirit, and understanding that if all are doing well, they can all positively affect each other. So one, I would definitely suggest getting into exercise, eating healthy, regardless of your situation. This is not a criticism to whatever your body situation is, love for all the sizes, you know what I mean? This is about feeling good about yourself. It's not about how you look. It's about feeling good about yourself and also feeling confident and feeling that sort of like, yeah, I've got something to offer. When your body feels good and you feel confident about the way you look and your strength, whatever, that then helps you feel like you're better able and qualified to make or focus on your spirituality, because you don't feel like your body is throwing you off in any way. You feel like your best health version of yourself and confidence with your body. So then you work on things like meditation or quiet time, things that help your spirituality and soul. But then that also talks about your mind, because again, you're feeling so balanced from the spirituality, feeling so balanced and in sync with your body, you're getting better sleep, that you're able to do things like maybe you read a book or watch a good movie that makes you really think about the world. Whatever that is, when these things are all in alignment and at the top of their best qualities, they're able to kind of work in this wonderful, unique system where they're, one is affecting the other one positively. And that's the same thing when it's in reverse. One can negatively affect the other. So that's important to think about. So, last statements. Find this sense of balance through your mind, body, and spirit. The regular work you're doing, the healthy habits, keep doing that. They're adding up. You will be getting rid of this, and you want to consider actively getting rid of this sort of mentality that thinks that you're not good enough, or some sort of defense mechanism by thinking the worst. You don't need to do that anymore. It's not benefiting you, and you should just get rid of it and kind of focus on being here in the moment with what you can control. Enjoy looking forward to a wonderful friendship group that will exercise your mind, your spirit, fulfill you as a person, and definitely look forward to not only some fun times ahead, but this person, I think a couple of them are from actually people you've already known from the past, so look out for them. Anyways, this is all really wonderful, and I'm really excited for you and your bright future ahead. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Please consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Either way, Have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. And let's get ready for group number 4. Group number 4. Let's find out what that message from your higher self is. Let's look at the cards. Your oracle card is slow and steady in reverse. Your tarot cards are Queen of Cups upright, 9 of Swords in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, Judgment in reverse, and your last card is Death upright. I need some more context. Knight of Swords upright, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, well that makes sense now. The Tower in reverse. Oh, okay. Page of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is like a loving, comforting message from your higher self. This is awesome. This is, it looks like you're kind of going through it right now. Somebody is not being very nice to you, and that's just not fun to experience or have to endure. It looks like it's causing you a great amount of stress, and let's talk about how it's going to get better, which is awesome. So let's talk about the Emperor in reverse. This is somebody who, and they could potentially be an Aries, but we're talking in a general reading about somebody who is just really manipulative, and they want to control you, and they like to put a lot of responsibility on you in an unfair way. And I can see in the Knight of Swords, they're just focused in on you, and they are putting all of this aggression towards you. The main thing I see that they're expecting from you, and you're feeling the pressure to be under, is a perfectionist, like an unhealthy perfectionist. They're asking way too much of you, and it definitely is motivated by a power play. So it's like they feel a sense of, like, they feel better about themselves as they put you down. It's not great. It looks like they're really getting in your head. The good thing is, with the Nine of Swords in reverse, this implies it is just in your head. Not that you're experiencing this, but if they are starting to make you believe or think something bad is going to happen if you don't listen to them, it's just not the case. That's not true at all. You're going to be okay. You are feeling your anxiety, the bad feelings you're feeling are real. But if you are worried about something else that's going to happen, oh no, I have got nothing but good news for you, which is awesome. I can see over here in the Judgment card. The Judgment card is a little bit, it's a little difficult for me to necessarily, I've got a couple different things going on here. So the Judgment card is a little bit working with the Emperor. This is showing their lack of good judgment. This is like they're not making, everything that they're asking you to do is not benefiting the thing they're asking you to work on. So if this is a boss and they're asking you to be like really hard and being really intense with you to be perfect, this is not actually the thing you need to do to benefit the job itself. This isn't good advice. They're not thinking clearly. They're more consumed with how they can feel better by putting you down. Like I said, it's not great that they're so focused on you. Same thing for other sort of relationships as well. What they're asking of you isn't really helping anything and isn't good advice. But it's interesting. By having to be in the position where you're dealing with this person, this is actually preventing you. This is a sort of blockage from you being able to kind of follow your destiny. Judgment card in reverse talks about the potential of it being upright. Upright is like finding out the thing you were meant to do. Many people relate to this idea as you were meant to help people. You were meant to do this as a career. That's the main thing people focus on. But following your calling can be anything. It's your soul's purpose. And your soul's purpose doesn't always have to be just purely financial gain. It can be. I'm not trying to dissuade you, because who doesn't want to get paid for a living to do what they love to do? Totally understandable. But I'm letting you know it can be more open-ended than that. It looks like the more they expect this version of your personality, and the more they get in your head and make you kind of worry about the worst, the more they're pulling you away from what feels like what is right around the corner of experiencing, which is really great. But I've got some good news and some maybe not the exact thing you would like to hear right now, but take it all for a grain of salt. So slow and steady does imply in reverse that it's going to take a little bit for this situation to resolve itself. I'm sure that is not fun to hear. I am so sorry to tell you that's going to take a little bit. It's not what I like to, it's not the kind of, I would love to tell you it's going to end tomorrow, but it's going to take a little bit. But it implies that it is not the right time to rush this. You should not rush this situation to be resolved. Don't force something. Don't think that you can, because slow and steady also implies that you would not be able to handle the next step. Because the next step, I'll tell you what, is a big one. And you right now are not in the emotional state to be able to handle that next step. Now, this does not imply you need to be perfect and, totally unaffected by this negativity that you're going through. This does not imply perfection. It just means you need a little more time, and also kind of the universe working the way it wants to work. It's just right now is just not the time that this person is going to be out of your life right now. But the Tower in reverse, they're going to leave. They're going to be gone out of your life. You're never going to see them again. And it's going to be a huge dramatic turnaround. And I have nothing but positive things to say about them leaving. And I will tell you what, though, with the Tower card popping up and what Spirit's making me feel, it feels like they're going to leave your life in a very cathartic way. This is like something where you watch them get fired. You watch them get taken out. It's something not like they're going to be alive. I just want to be clear about that. I meant they're going to be out of your life in a very dramatic, big way that almost feels healing within itself. And you're meant to wait, because instead of you leaving them, it will make you feel better to watch them be leave in the way they're going to leave. So this is awesome. But this is where things start to turn around for the better. I can see over here in the, actually let me talk about the Queen of Cups. First, Queen of Cups, dramatic difference from Queen of Cups upright from the Nine of Swords in reverse. You're going to feel way more emotionally balanced. This is going to be a huge 180 for you, a huge relief. But this is more than just feeling not stressed. This is about feeling like totally in control of your emotions, able to handle the ups and downs, because after you've gotten through this, you know that you can handle the downs. This is sort of like you didn't know you were learning this lesson until once it was over, you kind of are okay, and you are able to see the bigger picture when it comes to the cycles of life and how you can react to them and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of like wisdom in this emotional maturity, so to speak. So very cool, very awesome to look forward to. A lot of empowering things that can just make you feel a lot of inner happiness, and also kind of be able to feel a little more at ease going through life. But we've got the Death card. I love this card. This card is awesome. This is about deep personal transformation. This is huge. This is about leaving the past behind. If you're dealing with a difficult person, as we've talked about, it's about them being gone out of your life. We've got double confirmation that they are going to be gone. You will never see them again. But this talks about this deep personal transformation. This is like, the best way I can put it is, if we could see our lives as levels, and every time we're going up a level, we're a little smarter, a little stronger, a little more spiritually wise, so on and so forth. This is like you skipping 10, 20 steps, and it's very fast, and it's very intense, and it's wonderful, but like I said, it can feel intense. This is like a dramatic personality change in a really positive way. So this is welcoming in good things. This is leaving all the bad stuff behind, leaving behind bad habits. So I wouldn't say being stressed out is a bad habit, but this is an uncomfortable habit that will be left behind. A lot of positive things like we talked about here in the Queen of Cups. But it looks like it gets kind of initiated. And I do want to point out that it does look like this transformation is what's going to lead to the Judgment card being upright and you getting to experience this call. So you're going through this in order to receive your true calling. So it's like a beautiful, you go through this rough time, everything works out the way it's going to work out. You're going to be really happy that they leave the way they do. You're going to feel more emotionally balanced. You're going to feel like a whole new person and have a whole different perspective on the world and yourself and different type of things going through. This is going to then open the door and then lead you to your true calling. So really cool stuff. But the Page of Pentacles talks about this being something that's offered to you. Now, if I got the Ace of Pentacles, I could more be specific and be like, yes, it's a job or something. It's some sort of opportunity to work in this calling. But the Page of Pentacles almost implies a very small, almost insignificant sort of like gift or object or thing. It's almost like representative of right before this personal transformation. It's something that's almost a sign to be like, oh, I'm about to go through this. And this sort of present, this thing that you're going to get, is going to be almost a symbol of something now that is equaling to the longevity of success and investment in the long term. Does that make sense? I know this is very vague, but I'm obviously trying to read for a general audience and trying to make it so that when you see it, you will identify. You will know that when you receive this thing, pretend it's one of these awesome little crystals, you understand the longevity that you will continue to receive more crystals, that this crystals means more spirituality. Does that make sense? You will understand what it means. It will be more obvious. It's not an obscure thing. You will get it. You will understand it when you get it. And this is kind of the little loving hint from your higher self and your spirit guides working together to say, you're about to receive all this awesome transformation, but you're kind of preparing for it now without having to do anything. It's just a time thing. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. I'm very excited for you and your transformation and also for this curmudgeon to leave your life. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel like you would not believe. Either way, have a lovely day. I will see you in the next one. Bye!